I just realized my hair has gotten so much longer since the last time I made a video. It's been that long. Hi guys, and welcome back to my reading nook. As you can see, there's some aesthetic differences happening in the background. But it's been quite some time, I think around 8-ish months, and I'm still home thanks to COVID. But it's just a nice Saturday afternoon, and I thought, why not take my camera out, which I feel like I've low-key forgotten how to use, and just talk, right? Talk about where I am, how I'm doing, like a little life update, and just talk about how I'm feeling right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the goal for today. So basically there's been like two reasons as to why I've been so out of this whole making videos game. One being, I work in media, so it's basically M for media, M for madness, and I barely have any time, and when I do, it's mostly spent in sleeping, right? I do get my weekends off most of the time, and when I do, I just want to like doom scroll on Instagram, or I just don't want to do anything because I'm so out of the whole I'm so stressed the whole week that I just want to die temporarily on the weekend, right? And the second reason is that I just didn't know what to post on here because I felt like I didn't have much to say, or I didn't have much to actually speak about, and it got me thinking that I was holding back from making these videos simply because I felt like I had nothing to sort of talk about. But I can actually just talk about how I feel, right? We've all gone through a couple of ups and downs in the past couple of months. But yeah, I thought I'd just come on here today and tell you how I'm feeling and how I'm doing, and also ask you how you are doing. So I'm gonna go first because I'm the one making the video. So I'm gonna start. So basically, like a couple of days ago, I won silver in Young Spikes Asia, which is this big media competition that happens, and we won silver in the media category, my partner and I. And it was an amazing journey, right? It's a good achievement, it's a big achievement, and I am so excited about it, and it's very validating on the inside because I'm such a newcomer in media. But at the same time, so I am supposed to be in this good place in life, right? I kind of know what's happening. I am doing pretty well in what I'm doing, but at the same time I feel supremely lost. And I know it's definitely not just me, but I do feel so lost, and that's what I want to talk about today, right? So off late I've been feeling pretty lost, and I don't really know why, because I am on good terms with people around me. I'm in a good place in life and in my work. So generally you would expect to sort of feel good and feel okay, right? Because I always thought, if I had a set path which I sort of charted out for myself, and if I followed it as much as possible, I would sort of know where I was going in life, at least like professionally, maybe if not personally. But then clearly that's not what is actually happening, and I initially thought it was a phase. Maybe I'm the only one who's feeling like this a bit temporarily, but it's been quite some time now. I feel like it's been a couple of years where I've been feeling like this, and I don't really know what to do about it, except come on here on YouTube and talk to people about it. Just so weird if I actually think about it. But yeah, that's kind of what's been happening, and obviously because it's me, I sat down and I thought about it, right? I thought about why I may have been feeling this way, because the thing that stood out for me is that the more I sort of follow this path and the more I do better in it, the more I understand myself, but the less I am sure about myself. The more I figure out who I am, the less I know where I am in life, which is like the strangest thing, and I did not see that coming. I didn't think that was what was gonna be the result of sort of getting to know yourself, is that you'd end up being more lost. And the worst part is that it is very overwhelming, right? It is very confusing, because you would expect life to sort of get a bit clearer as you go on in life, but if that's not happening and years are just passing by, you sort of start freaking out a little bit on the inside, right? And so yeah, I thought about it, and I think I have around 3 or 4 reasons as to why this may be happening, and I am just going to share it with you today. So the first reason I think as to why we feel so lost is because we have such a structured childhood, right? From the moment we're born till around maybe our undergrad, we have everything charted out for us by our parents, by our teachers, by our friends, and you're in the same circle of people who are doing things very similar to you, right? So maybe your group of friends are people of the similar mindset, similar lifestyles, experiencing the same things as you at the same time. So you feel like you are one big group of people going through life together, right? And you don't even realize it. But because everything is so structured, you don't think about what you need to do, right? You're just going with the flow because it's all in front of you. You have a path, you know exactly that this is what's going to come next, and that's fine with you, right? And everyone's experiencing the same things together. You graduate together, you go to college together, you have the same first crushes, first heartbreaks, first great jobs. All of that stuff happens together, and then all of a sudden you're around 22, 23ish, you're out of college, and everyone's doing something different. And then you have nothing to compare yourself against, because up until then you have everything from grades to the way your life is going to sort of see and compare it with someone else and be like, okay, maybe we are all at the same place doing the same thing at the same time, so I must be in a good place in life. But then maybe someone's getting married, right? Maybe someone's just out there enjoying life. Maybe someone's low-key turning into a workaholic, and all of a sudden it's like, am I lagging behind in life, or am I also supposed to be in the same place as that person, or who am I supposed to weigh myself against? And it takes some time to get over that feeling of wanting to compare yourself with someone else, right? It doesn't happen overnight. It actually, I feel like, never goes away. It kind of, you just have to constantly like remind yourself that there are different directions to people's lives, and yours is something that you just need to follow. And I think that's the biggest reason why people feel so lost, is because we are so structured throughout our lives that when we finally come out here in the open, we don't really know what to expect or what to do anymore. And the second reason, I think, is that how people talk about the concept of a true self. You have one particular way of being with people outside in the general society, and one way of being with your loved ones, your friends, your family, and then there's one way of being when you're just with yourself, right? The whole concept of true self. There is something flying in front of me. Anyway, sorry. So basically, the whole concept of true self, I don't know how much of that I believe in, simply because I feel like we're constantly evolving. What is my true self? Because I liked something a year ago, 2 years ago, and that was my true self at that given point. But is that true self absolute? I am not so sure, right? Because maybe I don't enjoy it as much anymore. Maybe I don't want to participate in it as much anymore, right? I don't relate to my previous self, and I might not relate to my future self, but getting attached to who I am as a person is very it is very confusing, and I think it holds me back from doing a lot of things, simply because I think I'm supposed to be the certain way, because I believe that that is who I am, right? But it's very hard to sort of convince myself that it's fine, you are constantly evolving, and it is okay to sort of get over yourself, right? Get over who you are today and be someone else tomorrow, and constantly evolve tomorrow, right? So I think that is also one of the biggest reasons why I feel a bit left out, because I am not keeping up with myself. You know what I mean? Like, I am not keeping up with the changes that I'm going through, and I'm sort of getting attached to something that I like doing or I practice doing. So of course, no video is complete without blaming media, and without blaming movies, and without blaming pop culture, especially if it's a video that is about finding yourself, right? And I don't want to like put all my blame on it, of course not, but I do feel like some part of it is about movies, or is about the the culture that you consume online, or is about the general perception of finding yourself in media, right? Because in a lot of movies, and we know there are enough and more about finding your true self, finding your inner self, finding your purpose, your bigger purpose, not being lost in life anymore, which all sort of ends with the person finding their actual purpose and finding what they love, or sort of understanding what life is about, which is very hard in real life. Like that happens in a span of 3 hours, maybe spanning within the movie of a timeline of like maybe 2-3 years, but not beyond that. So when you cross that timeline yourself in your own life, you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing wrong, right? The protagonist in that movie sort of did this and this, and they did figure out. So you sort of expect that to happen with your own life as well, right? And I know it's a stupid thing to say, because you know very clearly that it is a movie, it's not real life, but so much of media actually influences us, and we undermine the level of influence it has on our general way of thinking. That is why, you know, when I see movies about, or when I watch movies about people in their whole journey of self-discovery, I also expect the end result for me to be good, which is obviously not how it plays out in real life. These three are like the biggest 3 reasons. I know there are a lot of other reasons out there, but this is what I think, you know, if I just had to put it out there, you know, bucket it into 3 reasons, these 3 would be my go-to as to why you feel lost in life. But having said this, is there any advantage to feeling lost in life? You know, is it really that bad of a thing? I've also thought about that, and I feel like there are multiple advantages of feeling a little lost in life. The biggest one being you start questioning things about yourself, right? Which people rarely do. I think now more than ever I'm asking myself some very valid questions to which I don't have the answers at all. But at least I'm there asking the question. So I figured out what I need to be asking myself. I figured out that even if I don't have the answer, I know these are the right questions that I should be asking myself, right? So I think that is one of the, you know, biggest advantages of being lost, is that you know what is it that you are trying to look for, right? The second one being, there are certain things that I am not entirely happy about, which I still do because I attach that to my personality. Like I make that a part of my personality, right? And I've started to realize that with, you know, with constantly evolving, it is okay to sort of eliminate this idea of who you are, right? I don't know who I am, and that's completely fine. And maybe I am going to be a different person tomorrow than I am today, and that's also completely fine, right? And then there's the bike. There's so much sound always, and I just don't know what to do about it. The third thing is that in this whole journey of sort of trying to figure out where I stand or where I am in life, the biggest thing is that I know now that too much is out of my control, you know? There are more than enough things in life way out of my control which I can't do absolutely anything about. But at the same time, I should not lose all idea of control as well, right? There are certain things, there are certain actions of my own self which will lead to different directions in life. And in a way, I have to acknowledge who I am and acknowledge who, you know, I am trying to be, and sort of have as much as I can in control, but then also understand that most things in life are beyond my control, right? And I think you kind of figured this out only when you are in this place of feeling lost. Yeah, that's it. I think I have reached the end of the video. I don't really have anything else to say, because in all honesty, this was a bit of an impromptu video. I hadn't really thought about it, but because I'm feeling this way today, I thought maybe if I come out here and talk about it, it would be like a conversation starter, if nothing else. So I know that I'm not the only one going through this right now, and I know that there is a lot more to life, and I'm not experiencing this in isolation. That especially people my age, in their, you know, early, mid or late 20s, I'm in my mid 20s, we're all going through sort of understanding where we belong, and we might never figure it out, but at least if we somehow figure out a way to get closer to it, that's a better place to be at, right? So if you relate to this, then please do let me know below. If there is something that you have figured out, like an equation as to how you know, how to navigate life, then also go off in the comments, because I think it might help someone else as well. And just let me know how you're feeling today, you know. I guess that's pretty much it. We all feel certain ways on certain days. That rhymed. But just let me know how you're feeling and how you're doing, how your new year has been so far. quite old now that we're already in Feb. But I will just go back now to maybe listening to some music. So I'm just gonna get back to that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.